I hope that previous aspects are all clear to you. Now let's start new chapter, that is systematics of living organism. Already we know what is living organism. In this lesson we are going to know about systematics and some important aspects of taxonomy. Then how living organisms are classified. So there is a detailed study of classification. Each and every point of classification is explained in this chapter. Then nomenclature is given in this chapter. Actually nomenclature means what? Name given to the object, but here we will study bionomial nomenclature, means name given to living organism. So that is bionomial nomenclature, and there are certain rules for this bionomial nomenclature. Then we will study five kingdom system of classification, and the next point is some acellular organisms like viruses and lichen. So this is overview of this chapter. So these points will be explained in this chapter. As we discussed in previous lecture, the five kingdom system of classification, those five kingdoms are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. Already we had discussion about kingdom Monera, which is a primitive one, and in that kingdom the the living organism possesses prokaryotic cell. So now we are going to discuss about kingdom Protista. Basically, there is a Protista, the living organism which includes in these kingdoms are unicellular, eukaryotic, and aquatic. We placed all single cell eukaryotes under Protista. So eukaryotic cell means obviously they have nucleus, well developed nucleus, that is main feature of eukaryotic cell. Mode of nutrition is autotrophic or heterotropic. They may be non-motile if the motile locomotion is by cilia, flagella, which are specialized structures present in those living organisms. So in the animals, the living organisms which are present in this kingdom Protista shows asexual as well as sexual reproduction. Actually, these organisms have link with all eukaryotic kingdom like Plantae, Animalia, and fungi. Because the Protista, the organisms of Protista having eukaryotic cell, so well-developed nucleus is there, well-developed cell structure is there. That's why they show link with the higher kingdoms like Plantae, Animalia, and fungi. Actually, the living organisms of this kingdom Protista, uh, the members of this kingdom Protista are primarily aquatic. This kingdom forms a link with the other kingdom, like we say, that is Plantae, Animalia, and fungi. Being eukaryotes, the Protistian cell body contains a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound cell organelles. That is main difference between kingdom Monera and kingdom Protista. That's why the kingdom Protista means we can say kingdom Monera is primitive one and kingdom Protista is advanced than the Monera. So some living organisms have flagella or cilia for their locomotion. Again, we say that is protists reproduce asexually and sexually by the process involving there is a cell fusion or zygote formation. It may be photosynthetic or holotropic. This could also be saprophytic, parasitic, and symbiotic. So this is the special feature of this kingdom Protista. That's why we say this kingdom Protista have very diverse. Kingdom Protista is very diverse. Saprophytic means they depends on dead and decaying matter. Parasitic means they lives or on in the surface of host body. On the other hand, some members could have the mixotropic nutrition, that is holotropic and saprophic. There are some phytoplanktons are there. So these are known as floating protists members. So these are some specialized features of this kingdom Protista. The main highlighting feature of kingdom protista is they are unicellular, eukaryotic, mostly they are aquatic. Aquatic means obviously they lives in water. Then the next important feature is the mode of nutrition is autotrophic, heterotrophic, and the feature which separates these members from Monera is that they having eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic means advanced type of cell, so well developed nucleus is there, and then membrane bound cell organelles are present in these organisms, means the protist. So these are basic feature of kingdom protista. As kingdom protista is very diverse kingdom, so there is a need for classification of this kingdom protista. So this kingdom protista is broadly classified into 5 subdivision based on their general characteristic features. They are classified as plant like protista, which is known as chrysophytes. Then second one, animal like protista, which is known as protozoans. Then the third one is dinoflagellates. Then the next one is fungi like protista, for example slime molds are there. And then the last one is euglenoids. Actually this kingdom protista member, so many members are there, so many types of living organisms are there. That's why this kingdom protista is divided into these 5 kingdoms. The first one, plant-like protista. So these members are known as chrysophytes. They are commonly called as phytoplanktons. Mainly algal members are there. These members are microscopic as they are unicellular, and obviously those are means these members are photosynthetic. They perform photosynthesis. That's why they are known as autotrophs. Means they prepare their own food with the help of sunlight. Then these members are also known as diatoms. Some members, most of the members are known as diatoms, as these members have body wall which is made up of two soap box like fitting silica covers. The term that is diatomaceous earth is nothing but these shells left behind for so many years. Actually, this diatomaceous earth is very important term which is used, means this one is used in polishing and filtration. Actually, diatomaceous earth is naturally occurring soft siliceous sedimentary rock that is crumbled into fine white of powder. So this powder is used, means when taken by mouth, the diatomaceous earth is used as a source of silica for treating high cholesterol level, for treating constipation, and for improving health of skin, nails, teeth, bones, and hair. When applied to skin or teeth, diatomaceous earth is used to brush teeth and remove unwanted dead skin cells. Actually, this one means this plant like protista have the important feature, and this feature is mentioned in your textbook, that is diatomaceous earth. Then we discuss the main feature of this plant like protista, that is they are chrysophytes. Then the phytoplanktons, microscopic, mostly they are photosynthetic. These members are known as diatoms. So this is picture of some diatoms. We can see the shape, the structure of this diatoms. So the next subdivision of kingdom protista is animal-like protista. These are mainly known as protozoans. Animal-like protista are called as protozoa. Protozoa are single-celled eukaryotes that share some traits with animals. Like animals, they can move, they are heterotrophs. That means they eat things outside of themselves instead of producing their own food. They lack cell wall. Obviously, as we discussed, they are heterotrophs. They do not prepare their own food. They depends on other for their food. These are primitive animal form. Then some protozoan members, some members have pseudopodia as a locomotory organ, mainly amoeboid protozoans. For example, amoeba, entamoeba, trypanosoma, then paramecium and plasmodium. So these are example of animal-like protist. The first one, that is amoeba. As we know, amoeba is shapeless structure, the unicellular structure. Then the second one, it is a means amoeba is a free living form. Then the next one is entamoeba. So this ant amoeba is actually, it is a endoparasite. Endoparasite means it lives in the body, in the host's body. That's why it is known as endoparasite, and it causes amoebic dysentery. So this one means this ant amoeba causes a disease, that is amoebiasis, which shows dysentery. Then some members, that is trypanosoma is a member. Actually, it is a common flagellated pathogen, and this member means this pathogen causes sleeping sickness. Then the next member is plasmodium. This plasmodium is a protozoa, means it is a sporozoan protozoa. It causes malaria. It requires two hosts for completion its life cycle. So it enters into insect. Then when insect bites us, then those insect means the mainly mosquito. So this mosquito releases this plasmodium into our bloodstream, and then this plasmodium causes malaria. So the paramecium is a ciliate protozoan. This paramecium having cilia for locomotion. So this is structure of a paramecium. So you can see the detailed structure of this paramecium. So that this paramecium have vacuoles are there, micronucleus is there, then pellicle is there, that is outer covering. Then some cilias are there for locomotion. So some cell organelles are there. So this is basically, this is structure of paramecium. These are some other protist members, means these are some other animal like protist member which are known as protozoans. So plasmodium is there, as we discussed that plasmodium causes malaria. Then trypanosoma is there, this trypanosoma causes sleeping sickness, and amoeba is there. So you can see detailed structure of these protozoans, means these are animal like protists. The next subdivision of kingdom Protista is dinoflagellates. The dinoflagellates are single-celled eukaryotes. Usually, these are considered as algae. These members are obviously aquatic. Dinoflagellates are mostly marine planktons, but they also are common in freshwater habitats. They are photosynthetic. They prepare their own food as they are autotrophs. Cell wall is made up of cellulosic stiff plate. Many dinoflagellates possess a membrane-bound cell wall known as theca that is divided into plates of cellulose with membrane vesicles. The tabulation of these plates provides a distinctive morphological feature for taxonomic and phylogenetic analysis. Remember it, that is the cell wall of these dinoflagellates made up of the cellulosic stiff plates. So this cell wall is known as theca, which is divided into two plates of cellulose with membrane vesicles. Then pair of flagella is present. Then they show wide range of photosynthetic pigment, that is yellow, green, blue, red and brown. Their population are distributed depending on the sea surface, then temperature, then salinity of that water. Actually, these members are important. Actually, the member that is Gonalex is responsible for red tide. So this red tide occurs in ocean. So these are some pictures of Gonalux, and the one picture is of a red tide. Red tide. Actually, this red tide is common name for algal blooms, which are large concentration of aquatic microorganisms such as protozoans and mainly this dinoflagellates, that is Gonalux. The upwelling of nutrients from the sea floor, often following massive storms, then provide the algae and triggers bloom events. Actually, this red tide means many red tide produce toxic chemical that can affect both marine organism and human. Actually, this releases toxins into air. So this red tide can cause serious illness. So why this red tide occurs? Actually, this red tides are caused by this algae, which are tiny microscopic organisms that grow in water. Almost all bodies of water have some algae, but in red tide there is a lot more algae in the water than usual. So this red tide is because of this dinoflagellate member, that is Gonalux. The next member of kingdom Protista is fungi like protist. This fungi like protist are commonly from the group that is Myxomycetes. These are saprophytic organisms found on decaying leaves. Fungi like protists are molds, and these molds are absorptive feeders. These molds are found on decaying organic matter. They resemble the fungi, that is the next kingdom fungi. So they resemble the fungi and reproduce with spore as fungi do. Then these fungi like protists share many features with fungi like fungi. They are heterotrophs, meaning they must obtain their food outside themselves. They also have cell wall and reproduce by forming spores. These fungi like protists but usually do not move. But a few developments, but few develop movements at some points in their lives. The spores produced by Plasmodium means actually their cell aggregates to form a large cell mass, which is called as Plasmodium. It is not a malarial parasite. So the spores produced by Plasmodiums are very tough and survive even very harsh conditions. So that's why they are very harmful. These fungi like protist members, they are feed on the dead decaying matter, dead organic matter, but have centrioles and they lack chitin in their cell wall. So this is a major difference between this fungi like protist and the members of kingdom fungi. That is, they lack chitin in their cell wall, but in the members of kingdom fungi they have chitin. So the members of this fungus like protist lives in a damp watery places. They are also small and they help to break down dead organic material. Remember it, they have similar features with kingdom fungi, but the main feature, that is chitin, is absent in their cell wall. Centrioles are absent, so they differ from that kingdom fungi. Euglenoids, the next members of this kingdom Protista. These euglenoids such as Euglena are unicellular protists, and these are commonly found in fresh water. They lack cell wall, but instead of cell wall, a protein-rich cell membrane present in those euglenoids. This protein-rich cell membrane, known as pellicle, means the euglenoids lack cell wall but have a very tough covering of proteinaceous pellicle. They possess two flagella. One is small and one is short and other one is long flagella uh, on the anterior end of their body. In some members, means a small light sensitive eye spot is present also in those members. In absence of light, they behave as heterotrophs, but they have pigment for photosynthesis. This single cell euglena are photosynthetic eukaryotic organism. that features a single flagellum. So these members are single cell organisms, so their food sources are small microscopic organisms. Along with the energy they can create through photosynthesis. So euglenoids, many euglenoids have chloroplast and produce energy through photosynthesis. So this is structure of euglena. You can see the structure of euglena. The outer membrane is pellicle, which is a proteinaceous tough covering. Then it has on the anterior side two flagellas are there. The one is long flagellum and then short flagellum is there. So nucleus is present, chloroplast is present. So this is structure of euglena. Here are also some pictures of euglena. You can see the structure of euglenas. The flagellas are there. The longer flagella we can see easily in these euglenas. So in five kingdom system, the next important kingdom is kingdom Plantae. As we know, this five kingdom system consists of kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia and kingdom Fungi. So this is kingdom Plantae. It is very vast kingdom. Thus the members of this kingdom Plantae, it's important, that is they are autotrophs, they prepare their own food, they have very vast variety. Means these members include some semi-autotrophic members. The insectivorous plants are there like Venus flytrap, then beecher plant is there. So these are insectivorous plant, as well as the kingdom Plantae also show exception, that is some members are heterotrophic parasitic members like Cuscuta. Cuscuta is heterotrophic parasitic member, that is it does not not prepare its own food. It depends on other plants for their nourishment. That's why this Cuscuta is known as parasite, and as it not prepare their own food, that's why it is known as heterotroph. So Cuscuta is heterotrophic parasitic members. So the members of this kingdom Plantae is obviously multicellular. Eukaryotic cell is present. The members of kingdom Plantae means in the members of kingdom Plantae, cell contains chlorophyll, chloroplast is there. So this is for photosynthesis, very important feature of this kingdom Plantae. Their cell wall is made up of cellulose. In mostly plant, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. So the members kingdom Plantae is advanced. The members of kingdom Plantae are obviously advanced than kingdom Protista. ॲक्च्युली हा जो किंगडम आहे किंगडम प्लांटी, आत्ताचा जो टॉपिक आहे म्हणजे सिस्टमॅटिक्स ऑफ लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याची खूप छोटीशी इन्फॉर्मेशन दिलेली आहे. म्हणजे कंटेंट वाईज तो खूप कमी आहे, कारण यानंतरचा तुम्हाला पूर्ण एक चॅप्टर स्टडी करायचा आहे किंगडम प्लांटी. म्हणून इथे किंगडम प्लांटीसाठी खूप थोडीशी इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे, पण तुम्ही तो डिटेल स्टडी करणार आहात इन नेक्स्ट चॅप्टर. मीन्स वी विल स्टडी दिस किंगडम इन डिटेल इन नेक्स्ट चॅप्टर. सो आता मग किंगडम प्लांटीचे फीचर्स आपण आत्ता पाहिले की त्या फीचर्समध्ये बेसिकली पहिलं फीचर येतं मल्टीसेल्युलर, युकॅरियोटिक, देन ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. मीन्स दे प्रिपेअर देअर ओन फूड, सेल वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ सेल्युलोज. त्याच्यानंतरचं त्याचं इम्पॉर्टंट जे फीचर आपण पाहिलं की त्याच्या सेलमध्ये क्लोरोप्लास्ट प्रेझेंट आहे, मीन्स फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट्स तिथे प्रेझेंट आहे. आता ॲक्च्युली हा जो किंगडम प्लांटी आहे, किंगडम प्लांटी इज डिवायडेड into two main groups, that is cryptogams and phanerogams. So this kingdom Plantae is divided into two main groups, cryptogams and phanerogams. Here cryptogams means non-flowering plant and phanerogams means flowering plant. You can see some pictures of this cryptogams, that is non-flowering plant. Algae is there, mosses are there, ferns are there. So these are non-flowering plant. अँड वी नो दिस फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स, म्हणजे आपण आपल्या डोळ्यांनी पाहिले सनफ्लावर असेल, मँगो असेल किंवा नीम असेल किंवा बाकीचे असतील फ्लावरिंग प्लांट की ज्याला फुलं येतात, ती सगळी फिनोरोगॅम्सच्या अंडर येतील. सो असं हे क्लासिफिकेशन आहे किंगडम प्लांटीचं. बेसिकली तुम्हाला एवढंच ह्या चॅप्टरमध्ये असणार आहे, कारण पुढचा जो चॅप्टर आहे तर त्या चॅप्टरमध्ये तुम्हाला याचं डिटेल क्लासिफिकेशन आहे, डिटेल इन्फॉर्मेशन असणार आहे. मग नॉन फ्लॉवरिंग प्लांटमधले अल्गी, मॉसेस, फर्न्स हे तुम्हाला डिटेल स्टडी करायचे आहेत. नंतर फ्लॉवरिंग प्लांटमध्ये जे फिनोरोगॅम्समध्ये जिम्नोस्पर्म आणि अँजिओस्पर्म्स असतील त्यांचा तुम्हाला डिटेल स्टडी करायचं आहे. पण ह्या चॅप्टरपुरती फक्त एवढीच त्याची माहिती आहे, तेवढीच फक्त तुम्हाला या चॅप्टरपुरती मर्यादित असेल. सो आजच्या लेक्चरमध्ये आपण किंगडम प्रोटिस्टाला सुरुवात केली होती. किंगडम प्रोटिस्टाचं आपण क्लासिफिकेशन पाहिलं. क्लासिफिकेशन म्हणजे सब डिव्हिजन्समध्ये जो किंगडम प्रोटिस्टा डिवाइड झाला आहे, प्लांट लाईक प्रोटिस्ट दॅट इज क्रिसोफाइट्स, त्याच्यानंतर डायनोफ्लॅजिलेट्स आर देअर, प्रोटोझॉन्स आर देअर, फंगाई लाईक प्रोटिस्ट आर देअर अँड युग्लिनॉइड्स. तर यांचं आपण त्यांचे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स जे आहेत तर ते फीचर्स स्टडी केलेत. त्यानंतर एक किंगडमला आपण सुरुवात केली होती, किंगडम प्लांटी. बट तुम्हाला पुढचा जो चॅप्टर असणार आहे तर तो किंगडम प्लांटीचा पूर्ण डिटेल स्टडी त्यामध्ये असल्यामुळे तुम्हाला फक्त प्रायमरी इन्फॉर्मेशन किंगडम प्लांटीची ह्या चॅप्टरमध्ये होती. नेक्स्ट जे लेक्चर होईल, नेक्स्ट सेशनमध्ये आपण नेक्स्ट किंगडम जे आहे किंगडम फंगाय, त्याच्यानंतर ॲनिमालिया, त्याचं डिटेल डिस्कशन करू. तोपर्यंत हा जो किंगडम प्रोटिस्ट असेल त्याचे जनरल फीचर्स असतील किंवा मोनेराचे जनरल फीचर्स असतील त्यांना कंपॅरिझन करायची आणि ॲडव्हान्स स्ट्रक्चर कुठलं, प्रिमिटिव्ह स्ट्रक्चर कुठलं, त्यांचं फायलोजेनेटिक रिलेशनशिप काय, तर ते एकदा आपण हे दोन्ही किंगडम कंपॅरेटिव्हली स्टडी केल्यानंतर त्याची उत्तरं आपल्याला मिळतील. सो नेक्स्ट लेक्चरमध्ये मग आपण किंगडम फंगायला सुरुवात करू. थँक्यू.